Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kieran Jane. If you're new here, welcome. Hello. Today we are just going to go over how to do this look. My camera dies towards the end and I have to do some of it off camera, but yeah, hopefully you enjoy. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with my eyes today because I think I'm probably going to do a wing, and you just never know how those are going to turn out, so I like to start with my eyes when I'm doing that just in case it doesn't go well and I need to fix it, I don't mess up my concealer. So for my eyeshadow base, I'm going to just use my concealer. I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the color Custard, and I'm just going to apply it on my eyelids so I have a nice base for my shadow. My eyebrows are crazy, but it's quarantine, so, you know, what can you do? And to blend it in, I'm just going to use this brush from IT Cosmetics. Any kind of like flat-ish fluffy brush will do, or Beauty Blender, whatever you want to use, beauty sponge. So now that we have our eyeshadow base blended in, I'm going to go ahead and start with my eyes. With my eyeshadow, I'm going to kind of mix a couple palettes in just different shades. I'm going to use the Jeffree Star Cremated palette, also the Dose of Colors Cutting Edge palette, and probably just like some random MAC shadows along the way. So as always, I'm going to start with a MAC 224 brush, fluffy brush, and just like a nice neutral transition shade. I'm going to try Last Respects from the Jeffree Star Cremated palette, and it is this color right here. Oh, right here. And I'm just going to buff it into my crease and bring it up a little bit onto my brow bone. And these are all really cool toned shadows, which I love. I never really do that. So I am probably going to warm it up a little bit just because that's my comfort zone. But I love having just like something different and a little bit of like a cooler base. And now I'm going to go in with the Dose of Colors Cutting Edge palette, and I'm going to use this kind of brownish orange shade right here and put it right over what I just did, just to warm it up a little bit. I like to mix shadows and lipsticks and stuff. I don't know, I just think it's like you can always get a good color when you do that. And I'm super intrigued by this kind of yellow shade in this palette. I might do it on my lid and just kind of see what happens. I've only ever used like a bright yellow. I've never used like kind of like a muted yellow before, so I want to try it and see what it looks like. I'm going to use my favorite lid brush from MAC. It is a MAC 239 brush, and it's just like a flat brush. It's really easy to, really good to use on your lid. Oh, it's almost like a green. Cool. And now I'm going to go back in with that orange shade from the Dose of Colors palette. And I'm going to darken the corners of my eyes a little bit. I'm going to use this MAC brush, number 217. And I'm going to use the color Corduroy from MAC. And now with no extra product on this 224 brush, I'm just going to kind of buff everything together so there are no harsh lines. I'm just going to pop off camera, do my brows and my wing, and I will be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and did my brows and did my wing. If you want a tutorial on either of those, let me know in the comments. They're, you know, long-ish processes, so I try to cut them out when I'm doing like a full face so we don't get, like, spend so much time on just two things. So I'm going to prime my face. I'm going to use the Benefit Pore Professional. I have some pretty bad acne scarring and just scarring in general on this side of my face. So I feel like this primer is really good for that. And I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty foundation today. I'm going to mix two colors. I'm going to mix Tres Leches in 320 and Custard in 220. They didn't have my shade when I went, so I'm just kind of, you know, making do with what I have. This is super full coverage. You don't need a lot. I'm going to use the Morphe sponge and just blend this all over my face. This looks a little bit dark right now, but once I have my concealer and everything, it works. Oh shit. Well, just got it on my eyebrow, so we'll have to deal with that. Alright, and now I'm going to go ahead and do my concealer, and I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. And I really want to brighten today, so I'll probably actually mix it with this other NARS shade that I have. Okay, I'm going to take my Morphe sponge and blend it in. Alright, and then before we bake, I'm going to do my contour, and I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Tannin Tone in the color Medium, or in the shade Medium. And then I just take an angle brush to blend it in. Mine is from IT Cosmetics, but any angle brush will do. And now I'm going to bake. I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder in a dry beauty blender. And I'm just going to dust it off lightly to gently kind of bronze my whole face. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in 3 and just a big fluffy brush. For blush, I'm going to use the Gingerly color from MAC and this big MAC fluffy brush in 150. And anytime I apply any kind of powder on my face, I always just like to, with a plain, like clean brush, just kind of go like this. I'm going to add some highlight. I'm going to use this Sephora fan brush and the BECCA Cosmetics highlighter in Champagne Pop. I'm going to use the Cutting Edge palette from Dose of Colors. If I can get it open. And I'm going to mix in that brown shade from MAC Corduroy. I'm going to start with Corduroy and then use that orangey shade from the Dose of Colors palette. And I just put this right under my lash line. And now I'm going to use that orangey shade from the Dose of Colors palette with the same brush and just kind of go right over what I just did and a little bit underneath it. And last but not least, I'm going to use this orangey shade from Makeup Forever. I don't know the color number, unfortunately, but it's kind of like a burnt orange shade, and I'm just going to blend it all together. Okay, so I have the worst luck with cameras. My battery died. Took forever to charge, so I just did my lips and my lashes and my hair. If you want a hair tutorial, I'm happy to do that. Let me know in the comments. And this is the finished look. If you like it, please comment and subscribe and like this video. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.